Imagine waking up and not knowing which headline to believe. One source says one thing, another claims the opposite. This confusion is not just annoying, it is reshaping how millions of Americans interact with the news. According to a revealing Pew Research Center study, trust in the news media is eroding at a dramatic pace. But why is this happening? And what does it mean for the future of democracy? You are about to discover the real reasons behind America's crumbling faith in journalism. Let us start with a powerful fact. Over the past 2 decades, the percentage of Americans who say they trust national news organizations a lot has dropped to single digits. That is right. Fewer than 1 in 10 people feel confident in the information they get from major news outlets. This is not just a minor shift. It is a major red flag for institutions that once served as the backbone of democracy. So what is causing this collapse in confidence? One major factor is perceived bias. The Pew study found that a majority of Americans believe news outlets favor one side when covering political and social issues. Whether it is a left-leaning network or a conservative outlet, viewers increasingly feel they are being preached to, rather than informed. This perception of bias turns news into noise. The divide is also generational. Older Americans, especially those over 50, tend to trust traditional news sources more than younger adults. On the other hand, younger generations, raised on social media and independent platforms, are far more skeptical. They question motives, funding, and even the need for mainstream news at all. Could this generational rift signal the end of traditional journalism as we know it? Another key point is the overwhelming volume of information available today. With thousands of websites, influencers, and alternative media competing for attention, it has become nearly impossible to separate fact from fiction. Pew's data reveals that this information overload leaves many people feeling exhausted and disengaged. They simply tune out. But there is more. The study also shows that Americans' trust varies depending on their political affiliation. Democrats are generally more trusting of the media than Republicans. In fact, Republicans' trust in national news has plummeted in recent years. Many feel the media is not just biased, but actively working against their values. This polarization feeds a vicious cycle of distrust and division. And then there is the issue of corporate influence. A large number of people surveyed by Pew believe that media companies prioritize profits over truth. When viewers suspect that stories are shaped to attract clicks rather than inform the public, faith in journalism disappears. Is it any wonder that people feel disillusioned? The rise of social media has only made things worse. Platforms like X and Facebook allow misinformation to spread faster than ever before. Despite their efforts to flag or remove false content, many users still rely on these platforms as their primary news source. According to Pew, Americans who mainly get news from social media are among the least likely to trust it, yet they keep consuming it. Why? Because it is convenient, personalized, and always on. There is also the question of accountability. When mistakes happen, many news organizations fail to issue timely or visible corrections. This lack of transparency damages their credibility. People start to wonder, if they were wrong about this, what else are they wrong about? Interestingly, the Pew study reveals a hunger for trustworthy news. A majority of Americans still say that an independent press is essential to democracy, but fewer and fewer believe that the current media landscape delivers on that promise. This contradiction reveals a critical tension. People want reliable news, but they no longer believe they are getting it. Local news used to be the exception. For years, Americans trusted their local newspapers and stations more than national outlets. But that trust is fading too. Consolidation, budget cuts, and the decline of community reporting have taken a toll. As hometown newsrooms vanish, so does the connection between journalists and the people they serve. Let us not overlook the role of sensationalism. The Pew report indicates that people are tired of overly dramatic headlines and stories designed to provoke outrage. Sensational reporting might draw attention in the short term, but it destroys credibility in the long run. When everything is breaking news, nothing feels truly important. The erosion of trust in the media has profound implications. Without a reliable news source, people struggle to stay informed, make decisions, and participate in civic life. Democracy depends on an informed public. If citizens cannot agree on basic facts, how can they engage in meaningful debate or hold leaders accountable? There are signs of hope. The Pew study notes that some Americans are turning to nonprofit and public media as alternatives. These outlets are often seen as more balanced and less profit-driven. In a media world dominated by algorithms and ad revenue, this return to mission-driven journalism could offer a path forward. Another positive trend is the rise of media literacy programs. Schools and community organizations are beginning to teach people how to evaluate sources, detect bias, and think critically about the news. If these efforts expand, the next generation might be better equipped to navigate the complex information environment. But make no mistake, rebuilding trust will not be easy. It requires transparency from news organizations, accountability for errors, and a renewed commitment to the public interest. It also requires readers and viewers to engage thoughtfully, ask questions, and seek out diverse perspectives. You might be wondering, is the news media doomed? Not necessarily, but it is at a crossroads. The choices made today by journalists, publishers, tech companies, and consumers will shape the future of information in America. So what can you do? Start by diversifying your news sources. Avoid echo chambers. Support independent journalism. And most importantly, stay curious. Ask yourself, who is telling the story? Why are they telling it? And what might be missing? Because the truth is, trust is not given. It is earned. And right now, the American news media has a lot of work to do. Thanks for watching the video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. See you in the next video.